Okay, so what I'm using here is a pink and black Marabou jig from Hawken. It's their woolly bugger jig. I got a trout on while I hung up on my rod tip here. I got a trout, hit it. There we go. Let's see if I can get this trout in. That was crazy. I hung up on my rod tip and a trout picked that thing off the weeds. Look at that. That's crazy. Well, it just shows how effective those things are. Look at this pretty trout. Man, that thing's gorgeous. Beautiful. There you go. Really pretty. Look at that. Alright, let's get that guy going. That was chaos. I was wondering why my cast wasn't going that well. And I had a wrap on the tip. And while I was trying to get rid of that, a fish picked it up. There we go. A little better. Oh, there's a bite. So I'm just kind of jigging this back towards me. You can let them fall and they'll hit them on the fall. They're being so aggressive towards them. You can also just straight retrieve them like that. They will smash them. Look at how these guys are wild. These guys fight hard. It's awesome. That's a big, beautiful bow. Look at that thing. Man, stunning. They're in good shape too. Wet my hand. There he goes. See you, buddy. That was just on a straight retrieve. There's a bite. There he is, got him. Nice. That little one. It's probably this year's plant. Smacked it. Even the little guys will go after those Marabou jigs. Alright, buddy, I'll get you going. See ya. You don't have to use just like the Hawken woolly bugger Marabou jigs. You can use just crappie style Marabou jigs like this one here. This one's got a little bit heavier head, so I should be able to cast it further. But yeah, these are super cheap. You can get these for like, you know, big packs of these for a few dollars and get those jigs for under $1 a piece. So we'll try this chartreuse one and then we'll switch to a lighter one and I'll fish it under a float and I'll show you how I do that. But the main thing is there's basically 3 retrieves that I'm going to focus on when fishing these Marabou jigs, and that is a twitch retrieve, like a jigging retrieve, so I'm going to jig it back to me, and then a steady retrieve, and then I almost will fish them like a jerkbait a little bit. I'll show you that one. So my favorite one is the jigging technique, which is where I'm going to let it fall a little bit, then I'm going to pump it with the reel tip and let it fall, pump it, let it fall, all the way back to me. And you can even let it go to the bottom if it's not too snaggy out there. This is a really effective technique for jigging for trout. So basically twitching a jig. Oh, there we go. There's fish right there. That's a nice one too. That's a big rainbow. Try and get him out of these weeds here. He's all wrapped up on those weeds. Come here, buddy. Only got 4-pound leader on there, so can't horse him too much, but it's a nice fish. Got that leader wrapped up in those weeds. This is a big, big bow, though, for this little pond. Come here, buddy. There we go. I got him, I got him. Look at that. That's a beast. It's a healthy, healthy bow. Pretty inhaled that jig, though. Snarfed it. Alright. Gorgeous fish. Gorgeous, gorgeous fish. Look at that thing. Man, is that pretty. See you later, buddy. As I was saying, that twitching or of the jig works really well. Okay, let's get all this vegetation out of there. Okay, so the second technique I use for retrieving these is going to be basically just a straight and steady retrieve. Just slow and steady like this. And you don't even have to vary it up. That it doesn't seem like you're doing much, but that marabou is actually, it's as the different currents moving across the jig head, that marabou is dancing back and forth. And it actually looks pretty enticing to trout, just doing this slow retrieve. And they love to chase, there was a bite right there. They love to chase lures, so oftentimes you can get them to hit that straight retrieve. I snapped off my other one on a tree behind me and it flung it off into the lake. It happens. So I was saying you can do this just straight retrieve. But what I actually prefer to do when I'm doing that is to do sort of a pump and retrieve. So reel, stop, or even like vary up my cadence as I'm bringing it back, causing that jig to pause a little bit and kind of go up and down over the top of the weeds here and along the edge of that weed bed. It seems like the trout have moved away from the edge of the lake and are now feeding out in the middle though. So one of the problems with these jigs is they're often very, very lightweight. If you go up, to a heavier 3/8 ounce or half ounce, the hook size generally gets too big for trout. And I see now there's a lot more trout activity out in the middle of the lake where there's a little more sunshine, probably some bug activity getting going. And so I have a trick for fishing these too when I need to cast with a little bit more weight. So let's go ahead and switch this up here. So what I've done here, because the lake that I'm on today, it's very, very wooded. There's very little access, so I need to be able to fish a lot of the lake from one spot. I've got this little crappie jig. You can buy, like I said, a pack of these. You get like 10 of them for like $3, so they're super cheap. I've already pinched the barb on that. I've got, a 1.5 2 foot of 4-pound fluorocarbon up to my braid that I've tied in with a uni knot. And then I've got a little water bobber or adjust-a-bubble. And that's going to allow me to have a little bit more casting weight, but also this is a good strike indicator. It's a bobber, right? So it lets me know that I'm getting hit. And what I like about these is it's really easy to adjust the depth. You don't have to have a swivel or anything. You just simply just twist this, and inside there's a little surgical tubing that's going to grip the line. And now I've got a static bobber rig. So I should be able to cast this a lot further and hopefully not get hung up behind me in all this leafy debris like I'm getting hung up in all the time right now. When they're being finicky like this, I can sometimes just reel this in dreadfully slow. I mean, barely moving it. That way the bobber doesn't really create a disturbance on the surface. And just lets that jig kind of slow meander. Ooh, there's one right there. Got him. Yeah. Nice. That was on the slow retrieve. Sweet. It's a nice fish too. We get them through all these weeds. Sometimes that slow retrieve works well. Nice. It's gonna be hard to get them up here through all these weeds and stuff, but we'll try. Okay. He's down in the weeds, of course. Get my hands wet. There we go. Come here, buddy. Don't take me in the trees. There we go. Oh, that's a nice fish. Okay, come here. Look at that. Beautiful little rainbow. Awesome. Awesome. Sometimes that slow retrieve works great. There he goes. Sweet. course, there's another lure that also has marabou besides jigs, and that is the Rooster tail from Yakima Bait. Has a marabou tail on it. This one I've actually replaced with this single point barbless hook. And yeah, so that's where it gets the name Rooster tail, although marabou actually comes from typically comes from turkey tails or turkey undertail coverts. But still, you have that same pulsing action of marabou on the tail end of these. I haven't been getting much on the jigs lately. It seems like the bite slowed down, so I'm gonna see if I can entice a little bit more aggressive strike on this rainbow trout patterned rooster tail. Oh, there's fish. First cast. There you go. So a little bit of flash and a little bit of that dance from the marabou tail, and we got a fish on. Just a smaller guy, but it's okay. That's the first cast. That was awesome. Pretty little boat. The trout in this pond are always so healthy looking. And the nice thing about get my hands wet before I pick them up is I got that single point barbless hook in there. This thing will just pop right out of his nose. There he goes, little guy. See you later, bud. Well, that lure definitely earned itself a few more casts. Now with these rooster tails, they have a really long blade. Sometimes it's hard to get it started, so I'll kick the... Oh, there's another fish. That was a bite. Missed him. I'll kick that blade into action by popping it like that, and then start the retrieve. That guy actually hit it on the fall. That's a nice fish. That's a nice fish. Beautiful colors on it. Keep up with him. He's in bright pink when he's jumping. Oh, he's gonna take me towards those weeds. There we go. Pretty fish. Oh man, he's like a picture perfect rainbow. Look at this, guys. Oh yes, that is such a great way to end the trip. Look at that pretty rainbow. Boy, isn't it awesome? Gorgeous. Alright guys, I'm going to make that my last fish of the day. Really pretty rainbow. Come here, buddy. Get this guy going. Alright, I'll put links to all of the jigs that I used today, as well as the rooster tail. That one I had rigged with the single point barbless hook, and I had a recent video that showed you how to do this single barb rigging on these rooster tails. Alright, I'll see you next time. Just remember, fish smarter, not harder. Bye guys.